Welcome back, dollies.
Welcome back. I have my
Hello,
coffee
wow.
with me today. Do you have coffee or no?
Coffee makes me want to vomit.
Ooh.
If we're recapping from the past episode, I'm pregnant. Um, so I have steamed milk, steamed almond milk with some chocolate and vanilla in it.
Oh,
It's
that sounds
comforting.
good. Yeah, it sounds nice and cozy. How's your week been? I don't even
Oh,
remember what we talked about on the last episode. I don't remember.
uh,
It was about New Year's Eve?
God, I think our hot topic was, do you do resolutions?
Mm. So is
So
this your first one?
this is our first one of the new year.
Oh my gosh, that's
Happy
amazing.
2025.
2025. Yeah, let me know how your week's been. I know that you guys have made really good progress with the kitchen.
So we've got a hood vent up. We've got paint. I need to, after this podcast, probably I'm going to go paint
Hmm.
the other half of the kitchen. It's hard because it was like, we don't really want to paint, but we do because we are going to put a lot of tile backsplash in one area. And then we're cutting out another piece of the wall eventually. So I was like, well, I don't want to waste paint on that because a 5 gallon
Right.
thing of paint is like crazy expensive.
Yeah, I
And
believe
our
it.
house is all one color. I mean, this wall next to me is like, there's a few accent things, but most our house is all one color.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've been painting. Food's been tough for me. I haven't vomited. Um, woohoo! I've been by a toilet
We should
twice.
like make that a
So
thing. Like
close.
each podcast, let us know if you vomited or not.
Woo!
See
Uh,
how far you'll get.
being pregnant is not that fun.
That glamorous.
Not in the beginning, at least. So with
Yeah.
my last one, I was sick for 20 weeks. They kept being like, "You're gonna turn the corner. Your first trimester's almost done. You're gonna turn the corner." And I was like, "Okay, I am. I'm gonna make it." And then 12 weeks, and I was still sick. And they're like, 14 weeks. It's coming for you. You're gonna be great. And I was like, "Yes, I'm gonna make it."
One more week max.
14 weeks, then 16 weeks, but
Yeah.
20 weeks hit.
Well, hopefully this one does stop at like 12 weeks.
I will say that this one has been better. It's been harder in a different way because I have a toddler. And like before, I could get out of Dodge. Like I would just go outside when my husband was cooking. He would cook for himself, and I'm like, I'm out of here. Blah.
Yeah.
But now, the person that's eating, I have to serve him food. And also, he wants to sit right next to me and eat. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot handle the smell or what you're eating. Or like
Yeah.
today, he's eating tuna, which I can handle kind of. I didn't want any. Usually, I love tuna. And he's like grabbing my face to look at something. I'm like, please take your hands off my face. They smell like tuna. I'm so grossed out.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Like form.
um, so yeah, just kind of been, we took down Christmas decorations. We still have some up because it's been icy. So P's like, I don't want to put the ladder on the ground and there be ice. And
And we
so
all know how Paul is when it comes to icy ground.
my husband is a
Slip.
danger
Yeah, he slips on the ice
all
every
the
day. I
time.
swear, every week it's like, oh my God, he ate shit. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Arkham fell on ice like 2 days ago, but he was fine. It wasn't a fall. But he was like, why
Yeah,
did that happen? I'm like, I keep telling you,
because you're your father's child.
for real. You're not safe. You're not safe.
Yeah. That's so funny.
So yeah, nothing too eventful, mostly just inside work, like
Yeah.
reorganizing kind of,
Mhm.
trying to declutter a bit, some progress in the kitchen, I've on and off been able to make some food. Like yesterday was pancakes, and Arkham loves my pancakes, so he ate like seriously over 12 pancakes yesterday. I made extra so that I could put them in the fridge and have them for the week for him. No,
Yeah.
he ate almost all of them. I made a double batch, and I was like, okay, so
How big are they?
they're like this size. He
Oh, okay.
he's definitely a boy. I'm like, you'll be lucky if this one's a girl because he eats like he like eats a turkey sandwich and then he's like, I want another one. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, I want another one. I'm like, oh my God, that's three turkey sandwiches.
That
And
is
you're not even
wild.
5.
I know. That is so wild.
And he's
That,
been just riding his bike and his obviously you won't know the layout of my house, but like we have a long hallway.
hmm
So well, you know the layout of my house, but other people.
Yeah.
We have a long hallway, so Arkham, like, we play a lot of things in the hallway. So he like rides a scooter and his balance bike like crazy up and down the hallway. And then he also can turn into the kitchen, and we have a chopping block in the middle now, so he can do a loop around it. And so the past few days he's been like randomly crashing, poor thing. And like one time he crashed and the handlebars went into his armpit. So he had like a bruise in his armpit and his chest. I was like, and then like 2 days ago, he crashed and I was like, what happened? And he was like, my neck. And he has like a bruise. I'm like, oh my God. So we wild. We wild.
That's something that I feel like I've never thought about because here in California, like the weather's always pretty nice. So like you can play outside whenever you want.
Yeah.
So is that like a thing like when it's winter in other states like that the kids are just like playing inside then?
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, there's a few indoor play places here. I haven't really gone to any of them. The parks
mhm.
are definitely dead. So it's really weird because last year we lived here in the winter, but I don't want to say I was sheltered, but I was like, it was all new for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I've never lived somewhere where it snows, never really driven in the snow. My husband was gone for like 2 weeks. Pretty much we moved here. I had my dad, my aunt, and my husband here, and we were like, getting things done. Then my dad left, and then my aunt left, and then it was just us, which was fine. And then P left for 2 weeks, and I didn't know a soul.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, this is like, I mean, it was fine. I feel safe in my house. I love my house, my neighborhood. But I was like, I don't know. I mean, at that point, we were still literally like Google Maps, like, okay, Walmart,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
last year, I feel like I did not experience the winter really. I mean, we
Mhm.
played in the snow. I will say kids love it. Arkham loves the snow. Like he's like he lays in bed when he wakes up forever, but if you're like it snowed, he's like, "What?" And he like gets out of bed and he's like ready to go and he wants to play. He's got a snow shovel, he wants to throw snow. He loves it.
That's cute.
So last year we just I don't know, we moved in the fall and then all winter we were just kind of like doing things, painting the whole house. I did all that and so it was so different last year. And then this year, I'm like, wow. Like once it became summerish, I was like, whoa, there's a lot of people that live here that aren't out in the winter.
Yeah.
So once the weather starts getting good, you see a lot more people on the road and at places.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a thing. The playgrounds are still open. Something that's interesting here is that our parks are open till 11 p.m.
Yeah.
So that was like crazy to me. Um, But yeah, all the parks are open, but the parks are like dead. So when the weather's like kind of good, you can like go to the park for a bit and it's pretty fun because like nobody's there.
Hmm.
We have a lot of walking trails and that's what we've been trying to do to like just try to stay active and then take, the dog and exploring new trails. And the boys ride their bikes sometimes on the trails.
Hmm.
So yeah, but definitely I want to get like an indoor, I want to get like a rock climbing thing, like just more fun stuff to do indoor because right now we're kind of relying on like TV games, not like
Like active.
technology game, but like yeah, when we're not active and we're trying to stay inside, I'm like, all right, if you want to watch something, that's fine because I got to get something done. You could chill.
Yeah, I know. Because I was
So
gonna
that's
say,
harder.
like, oh my gosh, I feel like you're everybody's dream mom, like being able to like ride your scooter and your bike inside the house. But then I'm thinking, like, I guess there's no other option.
I feel like I am like other kids come here and they're like, why is the scooter inside? And I'm like, oh, because we ride the scooter inside and
I
the
know. You're better than me. I don't know if I could do it.
the balls, there's like balls flying all the time, everything. It's like dodge. I literally got hit in the head with a cornhole beanbag the other day because I looked away for a
God,
second. I was like,
those hurt. Those are
oh
hard.
my God, it hit me like in the glasses to my ear. I was like, so yeah,
Yeah,
it's wild. It's wild.
that's so funny. Well, good for you.
What about your week?
My week was good. I went back to work on Thursday. Chill. It was hard to like get up and get going to work, but it feels nice to be back into routine. So, not complaining about that.
And was
Yeah.
there traffic or?
No, it was dead. And I was telling Jamil, I was like, because we were both going into the office, and I was like, it's either gonna be hectic because everybody is going back to work
Side
or
note,
nobody's going back until
after.
Monday, which is what, the 6th tomorrow, and it comes out that everybody's going back tomorrow because it was dead on
Jamil
Thursday.
just started a new job that's close to her office, so it's like a different traffic routine, I'm sure.
He actually takes like the same route, it's just shorter.
Oh,
Yeah, so he still takes the 405. I take Coldwater Canyon still. I go through the canyon. He takes the freeway. Because it's like, here's my job, and then it's like down is his job, and this is like where the freeway is. And
so
like
his
my
is
job's
closer.
not really closer to the freeway, he's closer to the freeway. So it's like
Got
he can
it.
off the freeway and be there, but it like makes more sense for me to go through the canyon. So like when we both went in on Thursday, it was the same amount of time for us to get to work, but his route said to take the freeway and mine said to take the canyon.
Interesting.
Yeah, because he's just like down more, like closer to the freeway. So, but yeah, so work was fine, and we didn't do anything for New Year's Eve. We
Oh
just
yeah,
like
what were our
yeah,
New Year's?
we watched CNN.
We what did we do?
You
We were
know,
supposed to have a tea party, but I
yeah,
didn't feel good enough to make anything, so
yeah, you know Andy Cohen and
yes.
Anderson.
Cooper.
Yeah, so they do like their CNN special. So we just like watched that, and like there were like some performances. Shania Twain performed. She looks great, by the way. I guess
Oh,
the residency in Vegas, I think. She has a residency in Vegas,
I
so
think
that's
you're
what
right.
the performance was. She looks so good.
She is fabulous. I just put on all those songs for Arkham the other day and he was like dancing it out. Like,
Yeah,
man, I feel like a woman. Oh my God, those were like my childhood jams.
I know. They're so good.
Goodbye, Earl. Oh my God, Arkham loves that one.
Yeah, so it's a pretty quiet week. Nothing too
Too
crazy.
eventful. Did you
Yeah.
make it to midnight?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. We were like kind of tired. I was like, of course. We ended up going to Cheesecake Factory because I wanted certain food.
Hmm.
And P was like, we want to go to Cheesecake Factory. So I was like, okay. And it was really nice and really fun. I can't even believe that was like a week ago.
Yeah, I
I
know.
feel like it's been like 4 weeks. What's
I
happened?
know. It's crazy.
And it was so cool. There's this mall. We have a lot of like malls towards Indianapolis, and this one I think was in Indianapolis too. But it's so
Yeah.
cool because like you could live, the apartments are attached to the mall
Yeah, you were
on the
telling me.
Sky Bridge, and like, oh, it just was so dreamy. I was like, that would be so cool. You could just like wake up and like walk the mall.
I know. That is really
So
cool.
that was cool. And I had like really fancy stores. Pete's like, do you want to go into Saks Fifth Avenue? I was like, no, I do not. Not with a child. It's my
Oh
absolute
yeah,
nightmare.
seriously.
Don't
Not with
touch that.
child. Yeah.
That's $3,000. Put it down.
Hmm. You're like, not unless you have handcuffs.
For
I'm
real.
not doing that.
Take a sleep,
Um,
sure.
yeah. Well, that sounds fun. Yeah, I guess it's pretty chill. Just overall, honestly, I didn't really know anybody that was doing anything for New Year's Eve this year.
I feel like once you get older, nobody does anything. It's like,
Yeah. It's like, but I feel like it would be fun for somebody to host like a New Year's Eve party with just like, intimate friends, not like a blowout party like when you're like early 20s, like those, but just like intimate, like people come dressed in like cute little New Year's Eve outfits. Maybe there's games to play, everybody's mingling, you're watching the ball drop together, and then you
I was
leave.
excited because we're actually like the ball drops on our time zone. So that
Oh
was
yeah, it
exciting. So we like put
does.
it on.
I was telling Jamil, I was cracking up because when we were watching the ball drop, I was like, "Oh, where's the Las Vegas one?" Because that's our
Oh my
time
God, I
zone.
love it. I thought of it as soon as the ball dropped.
And I just started dying laughing. And he was like, "What?" I couldn't even tell the story. And then I was like, "Oh, my mom went to Las Vegas a long time ago
Making me cry.
for New Year's Eve to watch the Las Vegas. Like, I don't know, do they do a ball or they do
I don't
something?"
know what they do, but they must do
Yeah,
something because a lot of
they
people
have
go.
something. So they have something where like you go out and do the countdown and everything. And so she went, and for a time period in her life, she had a real issue with being at in like the wrong place at the wrong time and constantly getting like punched in the face. And like I don't know why. But these were like back-to-back stories. And then she went to Las Vegas for the New Year's Eve thing, and then she got punched in the face on accident. But it's she said that she's like standing there in the crowd. And
Oh my God, I'm full
like
on crying.
counting down, and she's shorter. She's like 5'4". I think
Oh,
she's like 5'3". And
I guess
so like
people don't know how tall we are from this podcast if they don't know
yeah,
us.
yeah. So she's
Tall.
on the shorter end and she's in the crowd and she's standing there and they're doing the countdown like 5, 4, 3, 2. And she said that right when it's like
Oh
happy.
God.
She said that the man next to her, a full-on grown man, taller than her and everything, goes, Happy New Year! But it just goes, poof. He uppercutted her.
Like she
Boom,
didn't
right
get
on
like
the face.
knocked out.
Yeah, and
Imagine
he
like
had no idea. He didn't know. He was just like, Happy New Year! Boom, full force under the chin. And she said that everybody's sitting there celebrating. Nobody saw a single thing. Nobody noticed. And she's like, Ow, ow.
I need ice.
Yeah. So, and then I think like whoever she was with, they were like, Are you okay? And she's like, he just like she was like, but it's fine. It was an
I know it's an
accident.
accident.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I had to tell that story. So that'll never not be a classic.
Also, how fun. Like if I could change my wedding, like if I were to change it, I thought about it, but I didn't do it because it was too close to my engagement, I felt. But like how fun to get married on New Year's or New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that could be fun. That could be fun. I don't know if I'm like a holiday type, like to do things on the holiday, but could be fun.
I guess it's
Uh,
also hard because not a lot of things are open. They would have to be like a
oh, that's true.
like you
Yeah.
couldn't go to a courthouse and do that. I don't think. Unless it was New Year's Eve, maybe.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't
gonna
know.
say maybe New Year's Eve, but maybe not New Year's Day, but who knows? But yeah, so that was our New Year's Eve.
Oh my
Um,
God. We usually like to watch New Year's Eve. That's like usually P and my tradition. But this
yeah,
year we didn't get a chance because he was also grooming our dog who's still half groomed. So
yeah. We almost watched that too, and we didn't get a chance to either. And we kind of didn't want to like sit down and watch anything. We just wanted to like have stuff on. So we just put the CNN on, but it was fun. We heard some fireworks going off. Kind of saw them like in the
distance.
distance, but yeah, it was fun. Other than that, not much. I'm not sure that Jamil's gonna come out anytime soon.
That's
So,
okay. We'll keep going and we can get him.
okay,
We
shall
can
we
get
get
him when we get him.
stories?
We're ready.
Okay, let me pull them up. Honestly, not much with the stories. Some stuff, but it is what it is. Okay, so the first story that I wanted to touch on was the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively beef.
We're back
So
at it.
we're back at it, and now it's switching again, where people are like maybe not believing Blake anymore. So Justin Baldoni plans to sue Blake Lively and release every text message between them, attorney says. So I've been seeing that people are saying that the things that Blake Lively said, which she in her like lawsuit towards him, it said that he was like sexually harassing her and instances that he like walked in on her while she was breastfeeding and changing without like knocking or something or just like kind of barging in and she was like exposed and like stuff like that and then there was a few other things that she had mentioned but so everybody's like oh my gosh like why would he do that whatever so then So now it says after Justin Baldoni filed a lawsuit against the New York Times for their report centering his It Ends With Us co-star Blake Lively's allegations against him, his attorney says they will sue her. 3 days after the It Ends With Us star filed a lawsuit against the New York Times for their December 21st report centering co-star Blake Lively's allegations of sexual harassment and retaliation, his attorney confirmed that they absolutely plan to sue the actress. So that could get really ugly. We plan to
An
release
ugly
every single
situation.
text message. Yeah, every single text message between the two of them, Brian Friedman told NBC News. We want the truth to be out there. We want the documents to be out there. We want people to make their determination based on receipts. Um, Truly, on December 31st, Baldoni sued the New York Times for libel in a 250 million lawsuit obtained by E! News, which claimed if the outlet truly reviewed the thousands of private communications it claimed to have obtained, its reporters would have seen incontrovertible evidence that it was Lively, not plaintiffs, who engaged in a calculated smear campaign. So it keeps going back and forth. So first off, they're saying that the smear campaign's against him, and then the smear campaign's against her, and then it's him, and it's like going back and forth. And like nobody knows what the truth is yet. So I think a lot more stuff is gonna come out now. They said that there's false, outrageous, and intentionally salacious allegations, and it's a smear campaign and all this stuff, and that the New York Times needs to be accountable for kind of publishing false stuff,
Yeah.
not like doing their research and looking into it. So I'm trying to see if they put anything about his text messages, but pretty much what I saw about his text messages between him and Blake Lively is that she texted him and said, um, I'm like breastfeeding in my trailer
Come
because he was
over.
talking to her about the script. And she was like, I'm breastfeeding in my trailer. Feel free to like stop in anytime. So then he like went
And
in.
to me, that's not like breastfeeding is not really like a private thing. Like it's people do it out in the open. I did, I do.
Hmm. So I don't know. It's really back and forth. One of it says in Lively's original complaint filed earlier last month, she alleged that he sexually harassed her on set, including showing her nude videos or images of women to Blake Lively and discussing alleged past pornography addiction. Who knows? But he's saying that that's false, outrageous, and intentionally salacious.
And I
Um,
feel like nobody can like force, I don't know, this is just me. And I feel like sometimes people in Hollywood can be like too sensitive. Nobody
mhm.
can like force show you something like, what is he doing? Like making you, like
No.
holding your head and being like, look at these women. I was addicted to porn and this is why.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
no, thanks. I don't want to
okay.
see it. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. Like, oh, no, thanks.
Or if
Um,
he's trying to show like a scene, I get that of like, hey, this is what I'm trying to like get us to emulate.
mhm.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
and I also saw that, she was saying that maybe he was being a little bit too aggressive in the onset or like the scene, the sexual scenes that they filmed. And he was saying that, like, I think he talked to her beforehand about it and was saying that, like, his character is kind of portrayed as like you like him, but then you hate him. But then you feel bad for him, but then you hate him. Like it's like you kind of have mixed feelings about him. Because he's supposed to be manipulative a little bit, and that's kind of how like domestic violence works a lot of the times. And that's how, and like the whole point of showing the domestic violence is that it takes multiple times before women actually can leave. And this is showcasing why, because they're like manipulative and they'll do something and then they'll reel you right back in and you think that they've changed and they haven't, and it like takes a minute and that's just like the reality of it. So I guess he was saying that as his character and as the story being the point of view of her, that's like how he wanted to come off like in those scenes is
Right.
like a little bit
What
aggressive, like a
makes
bit
sense? You're playing
aggressive.
that character. That's the book. That's who you are.
Right. Right. So, and then he said something that like they made sure that whoever was in on like those scenes were like women like helping to direct it, and it wasn't just like all men and then Blake Lively or something like that. So I don't know. I think a lot more stuff is gonna come out about it.
The
And
interesting thing that I've been seeing, which I agree, is that like, hello, her and her husband are very prominent in Hollywood. And like,
Mhm.
unfortunately, power follows money,
Yeah.
And he's I mean, most people don't even know who he is. You know what I mean? If I were to call my dad and be like, do you know who Justin Baldoni is? I mean, he does watch TMZ, so he probably would because of that. But otherwise,
Yeah.
he wouldn't know who he is, but he knows who Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are?
Right, right.
And I don't have a problem with Ryan Reynolds or anything, but yeah, it's just hard sometimes to trust when people have that much money and power.
I know.
They kind
So
of have control of the situation.
yeah, I agree. So it's just kind of crazy because we've been seeing it flip-flop back and forth. So we'll see. I think there's a lot more to come. He already did release like some of those text messages that are already making people question Blake's allegations towards him
And I
because
feel
they're
like
like,
what is the point of this? Like, you know what I mean? Like this could have just been
exactly,
like, I don't like him, I'm not working with him again. And
exactly.
he could have
Like,
been like, she's kind of
wasn't-
a B. I'm not working with her again. Okay, let's go our separate ways. We don't need to create this whole
that's what I'm saying. Like,
and
I think
waste all this
it
money to
just
sue each other.
sounds, yeah, it just sounds like maybe there was
Dislike.
misunderstanding and like you guys just like don't get along and that's fine.
The
But
movie's over. You don't have to promote it anymore. You're
yeah,
good.
you can apologize if you came off a certain way and then just like get
Move
to
on.
get. Ugh, so sensitive.
Sensitive.
So yeah, we'll see. We shall see. So that was story number one, and I think that story is going to continue. I think we're going to continue to get updates every now and then and see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Story number two, Meghan Markle is whipping up her own Netflix show. Did you hear about
Oh,
that?
no. For
I
a
thought
second,
you
I
would
had
love
to figure
it.
out who that was, and then I remembered.
Yes, so Duchess of Sussex Meghan Markle revealed her new cooking series, With Love, Meghan, teasing her best tips and tricks with an astounding lineup of friends to join her as special guests.
So we're
Oh, we
stealing
have a
Selena's
question.
show.
Stealing whose?
Selena's show.
Selena Gomez?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched hers, but
I haven't watched it either. I'm too grossed out. I love cooking shows and everything, and like I love cooking
so you'll
competition
have to
shows,
watch this one and
but
give us
I
your
can't handle it right now,
Oh, true,
unfortunately.
true, true. True, true,
But
true.
yeah, uh I haven't
Um,
watched the Selena Gomez one, but I've heard it's so good.
yeah, and I love her. I think she's really like just living,
A
trying
great
to
person.
live her
I'm
best.
so yeah.
Me too.
Meghan Markle. Mm.
Me. We have a question about sports for the podcast. Sierra wants to
Are
know
you
where
decent?
we're
Just kidding.
at with the playoffs.
Um, well, the playoffs haven't started yet.
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah.
Today's the last week of the regular season.
Okay.
Technically, playoffs start next week. Next week, playoffs start. This is the last week of the regular season.
And
And people start getting knocked out next week.
Yeah.
okay, so all of our teams that we said
Are still
are
in.
still.
Yeah, all the teams you guys said are still in. It was Detroit. It was the Lions versus.
Mine was Lions versus Chiefs, and hers was Dolphins.
No, Ravens versus Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all going to be in. They're all going to make the playoffs.
Now, what happens since this is the last week before the playoffs? What does this matter? Like, what does these games that are happening matter in relation to the playoffs?
So not a lot of teams, but some teams will rest their best players. Like for instance, the Chiefs today aren't playing their best players because today doesn't matter. They
Okay.
have the number one seed locked up, so they're gonna. So like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, they're not playing today. They're gonna put like the second string, third string guys into play. But there are
Okay.
certain teams where they're fighting for playoff
To
position.
go higher.
So if they're in like the fourth seed right now, if they win today and the third seed loses, they could overtake the third seed, which down the line that'll matter because the higher seeds get home field advantage.
Oh,
So pretty much these games right now don't matter to the teams that already are
at
like
the
The teams
top.
already have their position locked up. So there are teams that like there are a couple teams that like no matter what, whether they win or lose, they have the sixth seed. The
Mm,
sixth seed they can't
Lose
go
it.
up, go down. So they won't play their best players today because it doesn't matter
yeah.
what's going to happen.
So
Um,
who's number one right now is the Chiefs and who else?
the Chiefs in the AFC have the number one seed locked up. And then the NFC, which is the division that has like the Lions and the Packers and the Eagles, the number one seed is going to depend on the game tonight. The
Okay.
game tonight is the Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings, and the winner of that game gets the number one seed.
Ooh.
Really, if you are betting on the Lions, you want them to win tonight.
Yeah.
Because if they win tonight, their path to get to the Super Bowl is a lot easier because they'll get a bye. They'll get a bye week. They won't have to play next week, and they'll get home field advantage.
But even if they lose, they can still go to
Even
the
if they
Super
lose,
Bowl.
they'll still be in the playoffs, but they won't get the number one seed.
Mm.
Got
So,
it.
Well, there you have
Where
it.
is the Super Bowl this year?
New Orleans.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Super Bowl's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. There you have it, folks.
For faceless Jamil.
Yeah. From our professional sports broadcaster. We're very proud of him. Okay. Look at Serena also. She's so cute. She's sunbathing out on her little bed. She's like,
What's
It's like, don't sell my bid.
yeah. Okay, so back to Meghan Markle, your fave. So yeah, I guess her cooking series is going to be called With Love, Meghan, teasing her best tips and tricks with an astounding lineup of friends to join her as special guests. Meghan
Do they
Markle's
have anybody that they're saying? I'm like, who's her special guest? Who does she have friends?
I know. After ringing in the new year with a grand return to social media, yeah, because she was kind of like MIA, I guess, the Duchess of Sussex announced her new Netflix series with Love Meghan. The show, which is set to launch January 15th, reimagines the genre of lifestyle programming, blending practical how-tos and candid conversation with friends, new and old, according to a press release. So it sounds like a basic cooking show.
Yeah, I'm like reimagining. There's plenty of these that I watch all the time.
I
Girl
know.
Meets Farm, Ina Garden. Like,
Yeah. The series gives an intimate look into Megan's kitchen, highlighting her tips and
in
tricks for
Montecito. God.
embracing playfulness over perfection and highlighting how easy it can be to create beauty even in the unexpected. And the 43-year-old who walked away from
She's
Instagram.
43.
I know, that's like crazy. I thought she
Yeah.
was young.
I mean, good for her.
Yeah, she looks great. And the 43-year-old who walked away from Instagram when she and Prince Harry took a step back from the royal family in 2020 took a break from rolling up her sleeves in the kitchen to post a special look on her social media. I have been so excited to share this with you, Meghan wrote in the caption of her January 2nd Instagram post alongside the show's trailer. I hope you love the show as much as I loved making it. Wishing you all a fantastic new year. Thanks to our amazing crew and the team at Netflix. Beyond grateful for the support and fun. Let's see. It says in the trailer for the 8-episode series, Meghan can be seen creating a selection of beautiful dishes, arranging flowers, and even trying out a bit of beekeeping. And she, of course, shared the dishes over laughs with an outstanding lineup of guests, including Korean American chef Roy Choi,
Oh my gosh, of course.
the Mindy Project actress Mindy Kaling, and chef Alice Waters.
I don't know who that is.
Probably one of the most glamorous moments of my life, Mindy said while whipping up a dish with Meghan in the trailer, and Roy was cherishing the moment as well, adding, "We're family now."
Oh God, I love Roy Choi, but okay. To be fair, I support Meghan. I'm happy for her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love her as far as acting. She's not my. I tried to watch Suits. I know that Alyssa and Jamil are also watching Suits. I'm way behind them, I think.
Yeah.
I liked her in Suits actually. At first, I was like, I don't want to watch it because for I don't have an issue with her, the royal family thing. I think that they did the right thing. I have been in a similar position to her, I feel, where the family's not a fan of you and it's difficult. So I think it's awesome that he stood up for her. She definitely
Yeah.
got the good looking guy out of the
Right.
brothers for sure. But I just think it's cheesy. One thing that really annoys me about her is that she was like, I didn't even know I was going on a blind date with him and like blah, blah, blah. I feel like that's a total lie. She wanted him, she was after him. So whatever. I also got annoyed because like her kids like blew up 10 littles. That's like the barefoot shoes that like Arkham has worn
Oh,
forever. And like those kids wore them and they were like selling out. And I was like, that's so annoying. Like,
yeah. I
God.
honestly feel like I don't know much about her. I just know the basic stuff that like, oh yeah,
And
they
I don't know anything about her mom, but the dad's not a good guy. So, I mean, good for her.
yeah.
She's successful. I will watch it. I will watch. I'll
What
take the
else
hit
is
for sure.
she in? Because I do like her. I think she's great in Suits.
I do too. I didn't want to
I don't
watch
think
it
I've
because of her,
seen her
but
in anything else as far as acting wise. Um,
I also
but-
can't stand when people put the H in Megan. And I think that's how hers is spelled.
oh, I think so too. Yeah.
Meghan Markle. Let's see. And the kids are cute. No
Mhm.
hate in that sense. What acting? And she's pretty. She looks great for 43.
Yeah.
Horrible bosses? She's in Horrible
Oh,
Bosses.
interesting. Maybe a small role.
Dater's Handbook. Remember Me. Random Encounters. The Boys Guide to Getting The Boys and Girls Guide to Getting Down. A Lot Like Love. When Sparks Fly. She's
Out there?
she's in a lot of things. A lot of things are now related to the royal family, of course.
Yeah. I also know that
That's
I think she has like a jam company
that's random.
and it's like the longest name ever. It's like the American Society of, it's like a whole thing.
And I also just feel annoyed that they moved to like Santa Barbara because I just feel like it adds to the my family's from Santa Barbara and it's just like the whole like celebrity takeover thing is just crazy. But whatever.
Yeah, Sierra is not a fan of Santa Barbara. So it's called American Riviera Orchard.
Orchard, orchard. Wait,
It's
we both can't say it
O-R-C-H-A-R-D.
because they probably live on the Riviera in Montecito.
Yeah. I'm like, what an odd, like, I don't know. That's just like too much to say for a jam company. I also haven't heard much about it, so
I've never heard of it. It's about to shut down
heard
on us,
about it
just an
because
FYI.
the toast
Oh,
about it. That's the
do
only
they
reason.
like her? Are they a fan?
So, to my knowledge, I think they are kind of in the middle. I think they are more of a fan than not, but I don't know too much because the episodes that I've watched were just talking about like her now and not so much about the whole debacle of like them leaving the royal family and stuff. So, um, so yeah, that's it for the second story. So if you get past your nausea at your 12-week mark, you'll have to be the one to watch it since you watch all the cooking shows. You can like compare it and you'll have to tell us what your thoughts are and give
I
us your
mean,
rating.
if Roy Choi's on it, I feel like it'll be good. I
It's
love
gonna
Roy
be
Choi.
like your number one
My
favorite.
favorite. If you are looking for cooking shows, it's really hard because everything's spread out. Like, I will not get rid of Discovery Plus. I'm about over streaming and just go to like DVDs back to it. Honestly, with the cost of all the streaming services, and then now some of them have commercials. Um, but Discovery Plus has all, I'm like, I'll never leave Discovery Plus. They have all the ID channel stuff. They have all the cooking shows, like competition shows, all the 90 Day Fiance.
You
Love.
have to get, I swear, next on your guys' list, or maybe for a next gift, I'm gonna get you the Fire Stick because you will not have to pay for a single streaming service
And you
and
can
you
find it
get
all.
well, Um, so all Fire Sticks, you can download this app. It's called the Cinema app, and it has all the TV shows and all the movies, even the ones that have just like came out. Sometimes you have to wait a few days for like the links to come in. But it also has, you can do this thing where what is it? You pay like $20 a month or something, but you have all like the TV channels. So
Oh, that's
HBO,
not bad.
everything. So I can show you, I'll make a video and show you. And there's like 24/7 The Office. So if you just want to have The Office 24/7, like Friends, there's like kids shows, Christmas movies, everything. There's all, that's where we watched the CNN because they have all the
And
news
that
channels.
you don't have to like pick a stream. Like you don't have to like pick one of the, I
No,
don't know if
so
that's
that's
old.
like live, like TV, like as if
Oh,
direct TV.
and is there
That's
commercials?
um no.
Oh,
Well, if it's like the news, it's like the regular as if you're watching it on regular TV, you know,
yeah.
just like the regular channels and stuff. But if it's like 24/7 The Office, then there's no commercials. If it's like an HBO movie, there's no commercials, things like that. So I'll
Oh,
put you on.
yes.
Okay, so third and final story of the day is that the Golden Globes are happening
Mm.
2025. And I was gonna tell you, so when me and Jamil went to the comedy store to watch the comedy show, Nikki Glazer was there and she performed and she told us, she was like, "Oh, I'm practicing my bit for the Golden Globes because she's hosting." And she was like,
Oh,
"Whatever you guys laugh at, I'll keep. If there's nothing, if there's one thing that's not funny, tell me and I'll take it out." Like she's like, "So this will be my practice." So that was kind of fun. And she's like, "So when you watch the Golden Globes and you hear me
you
say the
say this.
joke, you can say that you heard it first." So that'll
So
be fun.
last year was Joe Coy, wasn't it? Or is
I,
that wrong?
I don't remember.
Because I know that Joe Coy bombed I think it was the
Really?
Golden Globes. Yes, it was not taken well. So I kind of feel like, why do they have comedians host? Because I feel like that's more of like a serious thing and like,
Yeah, it's very like elegant, very sophisticated type of event. So
yes, it was Joe Coy last year.
yeah, it is kind of odd to have comedians host it.
Well, I hope Nikki does good.
I know. We liked her bit, so it was
She is
funny.
amazing. I love her. Come on.
Yeah.
Sorry, they
So
locked
we'll see.
the boys left and they locked Greta in here with me. So she's being
Oh.
annoying. She's crying right next to me, but I'm not gonna lift her. Come here.
Okay, so yep, it kicks off Sunday, January 5th. So that would be today.
Oh,
And
we'll have to comment on how it went. Like
yeah,
next
we'll
week.
have to see. Let's see. I wanted to see. So the annual Cecile B. DeMille Award will be presented to Viola Davis, while Ted Danson will receive the Carol Burnett Award for Lifetime Achievement in Television. I haven't heard of those awards, but they sound like the big ones.
I've
As
heard of
for
the Carol Burnett one because Grandma watches that show.
Hmm. As for other famous faces you can expect to see on the red carpet, Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, Timothy Chalamet, which I'll say, like, I feel like in a few of the previous episodes we did, I was like, oh, Timothy Chalamet, not for me, because everybody is obsessed with him. Recently, I feel like he had a little bit of a glow up.
Ah,
And I don't know if it's because he plays this new role in a movie or something, but I was like, okay, maybe I can get it. I get it a little bit more. Zoe Saldana, Cynthia Erivo, and Denzel Washington are all up
ah,
for awards for their film performances, while TV buzziest actors, including Quinta Brunson, Edebiri, Steve Martin, and Jeremy Allen White all have a chance at taking home a trophy as well.
oh,
Um, I know, so I'm
Steve
excited.
Martin.
I know, I'm excited. I think it'll be good. Let me see. They were gonna show. So these are the options. Best Motion Picture for Drama, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, September 5th. I
I
have not
haven't
seen one
seen
of those.
any of those yet.
Best Motion Picture for Musical or Comedy, Honora, Challengers, Amelia Perez, A Real Pain, The Substance, and Wicked. The only two I've seen are Challengers. That's the one with Zendaya, and it's the tennis one. Me and Jamil watched that one. It was actually pretty good. I really liked it. And then Wicked, of course.
What was
I
the first one?
haven't-
I liked that name.
Honora.
I liked that.
And then Amelia Perez is actually with Selena Gomez, but everybody was coming at her because she's speaking Spanish in it.
Oh,
And I don't think she speaks Spanish like fluently.
guys, just because our last name is a Mexican last name does not mean that we actively speak Spanish,
Yeah,
by the
so
way.
I think people were coming at her, and she even said she's like, I do wish that I would have like um put in more work to like achieve that like natural Spanish speaking role. Um It sounds good. Like she sounds good, but obviously to people who speak Spanish, they can tell that she doesn't speak Spanish, I think. So I think they were coming at her. I'm like, I think they were just saying like somebody else should have been that part, but like, come on, guys, give her a break. Best actress in a motion picture, musical, or comedy, Amy Adams in Night Bitch. Don't know what that is. Cynthia Erivo in Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon in Amelia Perez, Mickey Madison in Honora, Demi Moore, The Substance, and Zendaya Challengers. I'm like surprised that Ariana Grande wasn't on this list, but they put Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, but they didn't put Ariana Grande. Interesting. Best actress in a motion picture for drama. Pamela Anderson, The Last Showgirl, Angelina Jolie, Maria, Nicole
Oh,
Kidman, Baby Girl, Tilda Swinton, The Room Next Door, Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here, and Kate Winslet in Lee. Best actor in a motion picture for drama. Adrian Brody, The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet, A Complete Unknown. I think he's gonna win because
take
he's
it.
like hype. Daniel Craig in Queer, Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes, Conclave, and Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice.
I feel like, are you even speaking English? I've not heard of like
I know.
most of these
I don't
things.
think I've seen a lot of these. Best supporting actress, series, miniseries, or motion picture made for TV. Liza Collins Zay's The Bear. I didn't see The Bear, but I know that one, and it's about like the chef with
I think I've
Jeremy
seen the cover
White.
of it.
Mm-hmm. Hannah Einbinder and Hacks, Dakota Fanning and Ripley, Jessica Gunning, Baby Reindeer. I did watch Baby Reindeer, and because it was based off a true story, and it's about this woman who like becomes obsessed with this guy and like becomes his stalker, but it's like the woman stalking the man, and like nobody's taking him serious.
Oh,
It's like crazy. It's easy to watch and it's not scary. So yeah, Baby Reindeer was interesting. I love those types of shows though, like the true crime, like the ones based off of like the true stories and like it was really interesting. But there's so many lists on here of like the nominations, so I'm not gonna
I'm curious what Steve Martin is nominated for. Is there anything for Murders in the Building? Because I love that show.
Actually, I think there is.
I mean, Selena Gomez could be nominated for that too.
That's true.
But I didn't hear Martin Short. Well, maybe they didn't mention it.
Um, let's see. Oh yeah, it's Best TV Series, Musical or Comedy. Only Murders in the Building is nominated, and then Selena Gomez is nominated for Best Actress for Murders in the Building, and then Steve Martin for Best Actor, and Mark
I
for Best Actor also.
every one of them, I love it. I love that show. I think you guys would love it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things, so I'll add it to my list.
Yeah,
But
I don't
yeah,
know
so
if
we'll
Jamil,
have to
he's kind of
watch.
like me.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it and we'll
Hmm?
give our thoughts on it, on the winners and stuff. So I think there's a lot of good ones this year, even though
There's a
we
lot.
have.
I wonder if they have a number, like if they have a cutoff number of like we can only nominate like this many categories or this many people for these categories.
I feel like there's a lot of categories, and I feel like mainly it's like 5 to 8 nominations is what I'm saying. So, what's our hot topic for the day?
So I'm gonna pull up our old one, and
Which was,
which
do you
was,
do
do you
things
believe in New Year's resolutions? Not many votes, but 100% no.
okay.
Hey, so we thought everybody was gonna be on board, but they were not, which I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week's hot topic, I was going to say it's kind of not pregnancy related, but a little bit.
Mhm.
Cilantro.
Do you like cilantro or
I
not?
hate cilantro. I definitely have the genetic thing. Like, you know how they say there's a genetic thing where it tastes gross, like it tastes like soap or
Yeah,
whatever?
I have heard that.
I 100% have that. And I've heard, because obviously I don't have to get deep into this, but my mom, she passed away when I was young, so I don't know a lot about her. But I've heard through people that she didn't like it either.
So it's kind
So, because my dad likes it,
what
but
about Arkham? Does he like it?
no, he does not.
Um, I
He
like
loves
it.
it. Can't stand it.
Yeah, I like it.
Literally, I don't mind Chipotle. And P's been trying to get me to like go to Chipotle because our Taco Bells in the Midwest and like the South have also been to Taco Bells. They're not great. They're not great.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And I've been like craving Taco Bell because it just seems easy, like a bean, rice, and cheese. And P was like, I don't want you to go. It's going to be disappointing. Like, and I'm like, I don't care. I just need the food.
Yeah.
So he was like, try Chipotle. And I'm like, I don't like Chipotle's rice because they put cilantro in it. Why can't they
It's
have an
so
option without it?
crazy. It's just so crazy because even their brown rice has it.
Yes,
Oh.
both the rices. I'm like, dang it.
I, if cilantro is added or not, I can't taste it like at all. Like if you blindfolded me and was like, taste this and tell me if it has cilantro, I
Oh, I
couldn't
could gag.
tell you at all if it has cilantro or not. It doesn't have like a crazy flavor. I feel like I would have to eat a bunch of it chopped up by itself to
Ugh.
taste it. I don't taste it. So I'll just add it in for like color or for like a garnish or like to feel fancy. But I feel like cilantro barely has a taste.
The smell, oh, the
Yeah.
smell. Blah.
Well, okay, so
Does
let us
Jamil like
know.
cilantro?
I think he's like the same as me. Like there's no harm to it, but we're not like, yes, cilantro, I
I
love it.
love parsley. I love parsley. Like Italian parsley, love. But cilantro, can't do it.
Okay, well, let us know then if you're into cilantro or you're not into cilantro.
And it's a busy week coming up because apparently Meghan Markle's thing is coming out. Oh no, not this week, but the
So,
Golden Globes are today. By the time you hear this
yeah.
podcast, you might have already watched it or know
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, so we'll have to retouch base on that. And
And
yeah,
if you're feeling spicy, let us know what your take is on the Blake Lively, Justin
yeah,
Baldoni sitch.
yeah, for real. Which I'm sure we'll have more updates next week too. So that'll be fun.
All right. Happy Monday, dollies.
Monday,
We'll
talk to
see you
you.
in the next one.